the successor to Boris Johnson. And the last leadership campaign seemed to me about, the big personality, the rhetoric that won the hearts and minds of the party. But it's less of a personality contest this time round.
In some senses, I agree with you. That's certainly true, because in comparison with Boris Johnson, it would be very difficult for somebody to have a personality on that kind of epic scale of the outgoing prime minister, wouldn't it? But in another way, I'm not so sure about that, because not a great deal is known about some of the candidates. And I think people are supporting them slightly on a wing and a prayer and giving them the benefit of the doubt. And I include myself in that, because I'm very, very supportive of Kemi Badenoch. I think she's by far the best candidate in the race, but I accept that she isn't particularly well known. And I think in the case of Penny Mordaunt, for instance, who's clearly got momentum behind her, and her campaign is gaining pace, it would appear at the moment. I think that is partly to do with her personality and the fact that she presents so well and she comes across as being extremely nice woman, affable, easy to get on with. I think it's as much to do in her case with the whole persona of Penny Mordaunt as it is to do with anything particularly that she's saying. So, I think there's some truth in that, but it's also the case that we still need to know a lot more about all of these candidates.
I'm going to go to you, Peter. It strikes me that everyone's saying that whoever becomes the next prime minister, they're going to represent a shift to the right. There seems to be a doubling down on who can be the next Margaret Thatcher. Do you think that could result in the Red Wall seats going back to Labour?
Well, I think Labour have got to be very wary of making that assumption, but clearly there's an opportunity. And I think there will be a shift for both the reasons you touched upon. First of all, a shift in personality. And obviously we saw that from Thatcher to Major. That was from a very strong person, someone who seems more consensual. Then from Cameron to May, a PR smoothie, Cameron was cast at, to someone who was seen as a bit more real world and earthy in Theresa May. But as you say, also in the policies, and of course perhaps as a Labour person, the thing I come back to is that you're going to have the next Prime Minister chosen by around 350 MPs who aren't representative of the public. And then the Conservative membership, which last time I checked is in the relatively low hundreds of thousands. So that obviously, that prompts of a question of whether you have a general election, but neither of those groups, the selectorate as it's called, are really representative of public opinion.